we're getting closer. We are getting closer. I believe Danny Cannell was the first one to identify the Kansas Jayhawks as Brett Yormark's least favorite team. Them old giant slaying Jayhawks have the opportunity to create chaos, and they are well on their way with the win against BYU.
Guess who they play this week?
Colorado.
Yes, they really are. I mean, we've dubbed teams spoilers before. Like, this is the ultimate spoiler, spoiling an entire conference's chances to get to the multiple teams to the Big 12 or to the college football playoff.
Did you hear my chaos scenario on Saturday?
No, what is it?
Big 12
to lose out.
Yeah. Big 12 gets 0 teams in the college football playoff. Now, it requires likely Army beating Notre Dame and sort of running the table on the way out. It requires Boise State, no losses, go on to be the Mountain West champ. But there is a path where you've got like a 3-loss, maybe even 4-loss Big 12 conference champion that could be the 6th highest ranked champion in the committee's final rankings.
Man.
Chip, we need to get you out more. You're spending a little too much time in that office coming up with this
treasure maps.
Yeah,
no, I mean
it's scenarios. I love it.
We do agree the Big 12 is down to a 1-bid league now, right?
Yes.
Or 1, or in an absolute crazy scenario, 0. Like, I don't really see a path.
What if? Just let me give you a what if.
All right, yeah, this is why I wanted to do it. Yeah,
I mean, we've always said they do like to see good teams with big brands in there. What if Colorado makes it to the Big 12 championship game and loses a nail biter by a point? Any chance they make it as the loser of the Big 12 championship?
No. You have a blowout loss to a potential like non-bowl team in Nebraska.
Clip that, Mark Jones.
I think you're right, but the ratings would be really tempting.
They would, but I don't think you're going to struggle for ratings in this.
True.
Yeah, I think the newness factor, like how many big brands you got, I think it's 0%.
Yeah, whatever their spike that they would have for getting Colorado, they make that up by bringing in a Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, we're gonna get a bunch of non-people. You know where there is an entire church of zealots that are gonna follow this thing wherever it goes. So over here in these categories right here. So I could, Arizona State being in the position to get up in this is probably one of my most interesting takeaways from the weekend, because as we talked about on Saturday night, Arizona State went into Kansas State and just took control of the ball game, just beat them, pushed them around at the line of scrimmage, kept Avery Johnson in check. I mean, the final score, it does not even reflect the way that game felt competitively in terms of the way that Arizona State jumped all over them early and then was just kind of able to defend it the rest of the way. Now, Arizona State plays BYU, so that serves as a little bit of a big head-to-head potential elimination type scenario for the Big 12 title game itself. But then they play Arizona to finish the year. I am coming into week 13 looking at that Arizona State BYU game, looking at the confidence that the Sun Devils are playing with. Kenny Dillingham is going to be providing, a lot of like a fresh energy just because of his youthfulness. But I just love has this season exceeded your expectations? He's like, yes, of course. Look at our records the previous years. We come in under NCAA sanctions, like this. Of course, this is exceeding our expectations, but I'm thrilled with where we are. And now we've got a great opportunity. So, let's go get it. I like that attitude. I like that message that they're sending through that locker room.
I mean, I went and saw them this spring, and I was like, they're definitely improved, but the schedule at the time thinking would probably not allow for it. And some of the teams they have played are like way worse than expected. Right?
Utah, Oklahoma State,
Wyoming,
top of mind. Yeah.
Mississippi State. I mean, Mississippi State's like maybe the worst SEC team in some time, non-Vanderbilt category. Oklahoma State, way worse than we could have thought, or at least than I thought. Kansas State is like meaningfully worse than I thought. So it's I think Arizona State is better, like as a team, than projected, and the schedule that we thought was going to be really, really hard has been a little more favorable than it looked.
clinching scenarios for this weekend in the Big 12. Courtesy of Clark Williams. BYU earns a spot in the title game with a win over Arizona State and a Utah win over Iowa State. Colorado secures a berth with a win over Kansas and wins by BYU and Utah.
But Utah winning is a challenge. I think like in any of those scenarios that
Every week.
Yeah, any of those scenarios that are saying all they need to do is for Utah to beat blank. Utah's final games are Iowa State and UCF. I believe they're going to be underdogs in both. So this will come down to the final week of the regular season, I believe. But it's
well, if they're underdogs, it's the Big 12. That means they're going to win.
Oh shoot! I mean, we could have a 4-loss conference champion.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
There's been good two-way action on that Colorado Kansas game. Kansas +3 got bet pretty hard this morning, and there's some comeback on Colorado.
Over. Colorado fourth quarter.
It's at Arrowhead, right?
Yeah.
Is it?
That's gonna be a fun game.
It'll be a really fun game. Okay.
League is everything we said it would be.